Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities may be available for today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Alright, we're going to start off here on the daily. It's a new week, so we've got our new previous weekly highs and lows, and we've got our previous daily highs and lows. Now what's the daily showing us? Well, we can clearly see now we've started off the day bearish. We were initially bullish right on the open. We've swept previous daily highs and now we're having some sort of bearish reaction from there, right? So I'll zoom in slightly so you can see it. Right, you can see we've taken the previous daily high and we've now got this sort of bearish high test direction going on here. If we look at our inverse DXY, we're still ranging, right? We found some sort of resistance around this area here above these highs, and we've been sideways ever since. Loads of dojis on all of the previous days. We've also taken our previous daily low, which has pushed price up, and we're nearly bullish in price. You can see it's really thin bearish candle at the moment, so we'll see if that turns bullish. Obviously it's not been moving as well as EU has either way, so we'll see what the result of this is going to be. But we've taken buy side liquidity on EU, sell side liquidity on DXY. On DXY, of course, we still have much of this imbalance above that could be filled and draw price. On EU, we've nearly filled this imbalance just above price completely. There's still a little bit left, and this order block here may be attracted to it, but price obviously pulled back after filling this daily imbalance. On the lower time frames, it'll probably look very corrective. Right, so we may pull back more, or this may be enough, taking this buy side liquidity to possibly head lower, deeper into this bullish leg here, maybe down towards this imbalance here, but that's quite far ahead in the future, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, just at the moment, buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity. We are bearish so far today, so let's see what the lower time frames are showing us. So in saying that, let's go down to the 4 hour. So here on the 4 hour, we still have our 4 hour bearish leg here, right? Since we filled this daily imbalance, we've been correctively pulling back, quite choppy. We've got the low, internal high high, internal high low, internal high high, right? We can see that this is very choppy and pretty much a corrective sell side liquidity trend line. We filled that 4 hour imbalance. We do have another one above with this 4 hour order block, which I've also drawn out in the extreme premium, but we have made it up into a premium. And yesterday / today we've come up and we've created equal highs, so I am wary of those equal highs in that price may be drawn towards them. But at the moment, from taking up buy side liquidity of that previous daily high, you can see we are very bearish in this 4 hour candle here. It would have been nice to have not left 4 hour highs, but still this area seems to be holding. Right, we've taken a previous daily low on DXY and we're very bullish from there as well. Now of course we know DXY hadn't pulled back as much as EU has, so we still have this imbalance unfilled here, but it's still mitigated over 50%. So following price, we have buy side liquidity with bearish move from there, sell side liquidity trend line, right, with this corrective price action. So the move may be over, we may leave this behind, we may not need to come higher, or it's going to be temporary, take some sell side liquidity, come back up, because that's all we've been doing this whole time anyway. So we may just need this previous daily low or something and come back up. Either way, we're just trying to follow the direction for a session. So we've left these equal highs and we're bearish. We've taken buy side liquidity, we've taken sell side liquidity here, and the candle's bullish so far. So we should be heading towards buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity on the EU. But we're bearing in mind these negatives for future price that we may come into right down here as well. But we may have some direction for our session, which at the moment is bearish. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that looks like. So on the 1 hour, I think things get a bit more interesting now. So you can see from this discount here how we've been making those higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, possible new higher highs coming there, right? But we left it as equal highs. Okay, so we can see that pullback is clear. It's very corrective. Sell side liquidity below all of these lows, all the way down to that previous weekly low. So it's a good source of sell side liquidity corrective trend line for us to target if we are going to go bearish. Now, what I want to draw us into is we did fail to make that higher high, at least on my broker so far, and we've been bearish since, right? Previous daily high, all these bearish candles. We've taken out this low now, so there's possible SMC divergence. Of course, these candles aren't closed, so we don't know how that's going to end, so it's not confirmed yet, but we have a 1 hour POY here on DXY, SMC divergence, sell side liquidity below these lows, so we'll see how this candle closes. At the moment it's still very bearish, right, but it could possibly close as a low test. We will see more sell side liquidity here as well, right? So for all we know, these will cause some sort of pullback in this candle. There's still 35 minutes left for it, but I think the momentum's good, right? We've swept buy side liquidity above these highs, and we're possibly breaking this 1 hour structure now, which is wonderful for shorts. Now, of course, this SMC divergence will paint a different picture here on DXY, because we had this lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So potentially lower high to continue going lower, right? So there are things to watch out for. Plenty of sell side liquidity here, again, as I said, which may drive price back up. So we'll wait to see how price handles this area here and how this close happens as well, but it does look like we've got plenty of momentum here. This is a very bearish candle, right? Even though there's no news, it's really going for these lows. It's seeking out sell side liquidity after taking its buy side liquidity, so something to keep our eye on in this area of possible resistance, right? Possible support after this sell side liquidity. Now bias wise, directionally with this momentum is short, but again, I'll see both ways, because we're going to have counter to this daily momentum that's happening right now, opportunities possibly. If we sweep this sell side liquidity, hold this area here as resistance, we may have opportunities to go long, but obviously with this buy side liquidity seeking out further sell side liquidity and momentum, we may pull back to something to see opportunities to go short. So that's how I see this session going. You just got to be really careful, see where the confluences are and what price is doing in the lower time frame structure before making our decision. But there's plenty of sell side liquidity to sponsor a move upwards, and also higher time frame buy side liquidity taken above these highs to continue lower, maybe seeking out a previous daily low. So yeah, keep a close eye on the higher time frames. But in saying that, let's go down to the M15 and see what that looks like for today. So on the M15, we can see now this sell side liquidity below Asia lows and the Friday New York session lows. It has made price contract a little bit, pull back, right? Closes a low test candle there, so more of a sweeping action of that sell side liquidity. So that's where the read of price could get a bit more difficult. If we go back up to the 1 hour just briefly, you can see now if we continue that, right, with another 15 minutes of a pullback, we'll have had a nice low test candle below these lows on the 1 hour, and then it looks like that bullish pullback structure could continue and even head for these equal highs, right? It looks like this 1 hour POY may start to hold. We've still got half an hour, so I'm not making any conclusions, but I'm telling you how it looks just ahead of time with this SMC divergence. It could very easily look a bit negative on the higher time frame rather than the lower time frame here now, where we may see this order block, right, and think, okay, we're breaking structure below this low, we pull back to this and continue lower, right, because we've taken buy side liquidity, and then now on the London Open we're possibly breaking these lows, right? However, the Asia cycle usually is we take one side of Asia and go to the other. Now we'll see what sort of momentum we get from here, right? We have SMC on side for bullish behavior. We have a 1 hour POY on side for bullish behavior on DXY. We have DXY, which is still in an M15 bearish leg, right, for further bearish price action. So that could be to come and take out all of these highs, complete the Asia sort of London Open cycle where we head towards the other side of Asia, which is also these equal highs. So I definitely see possible long scenarios in there if we continue to close out bullishly from this area here. Now that could change if we have a nice strong bearish candle before we pull back and close below these lows, right? Close below that Asia low, close below this low, and have some sort of corrective pullback from down here into this area to continue short to that previous daily low maybe. So yes, I do see this potential opportunity, right, from around here. Stop loss would be just above that high there maybe, and then target wherever you need to target. 3% just at the lows would be ideal for me. So I do see that with the potential inducement around this area here and the break of structure that potentially comes in around here. However, personally, I think I will be a bit more patient. I would move this here, maybe wait for a break of structure around here. So wait for that pullback, wait for a break of structure there, and then see if I can get something around here with a corrective pullback maybe to another order block around here to continue lower. Right, maybe something like this around there, order block with imbalance, set my order, stop loss just above the high, aiming for those lows with inducement around here. Alright, break of structure here, inducement from the pullback here to continue lower. Only reason I would wait for this just because I want to see this low go, I want to see this hold. I don't want to see the 1 hour candle, as I said, close out as a sweep like it's doing now, because I won't take that trade. And just let this area hold, let it show that this other side of Asia is going to hold. Now the danger of this continuation is price may just continue without me, so you may miss the opportunity that you've had from here. So it depends on your risk appetite. We have the same order block down here on DXY, so yes, this area may just hold and push higher. But from a higher time frame perspective, like I said, with some of these SMC negatives, 1 hour POI, sell side liquidity on side, it would be a bit too risky for me. It's not patient enough for me or high quality enough for me to lose from this area, right? Because that's my thinking. I don't want to lose a trade from here knowing all of these negatives. But we'll see what price does between now and then for this trade to happen. Now for longs, which could be very favorable from this area, as I mentioned, and I would be keeping my eye out for them. I would want price to hold, right? Let's say it gets some reaction from this area, comes back down, doesn't have to sweep this low. I don't really see that having to be a thing because we've already swept sell side liquidity, and then break above this high, internal break of structure, and then I'll be waiting for that pullback back down to my lower time frame order block with imbalance, heading towards these equal highs and the premium, right? Keeping with this SMC divergence, POI here, and the 15-minute structure which it currently has. Okay, so we would have possible inducement, order block with imbalance on the lower time frame around here, right, break of structure, and then set our order, stop loss just below the lows to aim for the highs around there. At the moment, with the high time frame negatives and whatnot, I do see this as being favorable as well. I've got no problem trading long with this opportunity if we create some structure here and then break that structure like I have with this arrow and pull back, because I think the 1 hour will look good from there, having taken its sell side liquidity now below these lows. But we're relying on that 15-minute or 5-minute structure to be created around here and then break that structure, showing that intention to come for all of this buy side liquidity. So that's what I see. I hope you gained value from that. Hope it was clear. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.